This is the WJTS News. In tonight's news, a fire damages a turkey house in northeast DuBois County. Redemption Church announces changes. And Alley Cat Allies files a lawsuit to delay the reopening of the Spencer County Animal Shelter. Kurt Guxell looks at sports, followed by WJTS Informed. Tonight, Detective Shane Staggs and Tammy Lampert talk about the partnership of police and SWICAC. All this and more coming up on the 18 WJTS News. Good evening. I'm Bill Potter with the WJTS News. A heater malfunction resulted in a fire at a turkey farm Tuesday morning in the northeast DuBois County area. Just after 10 a.m., multiple reports of a structure fire were made at a turkey farm owned by Kevin and Sean Cobb on the North Hickory Grove Road in DuBois. According to Sean Cobb, heaters were being worked on in an empty turkey house. After a heater was turned on by a farmhand, the worker left the house to move on to another building on the property. Shortly after, he noticed smoke coming from the empty turkey house and saw that the structure was starting to become ablaze. Not too long after, firefighters from DuBois Volunteer Fire Department, along with many first responders, arrived to help battle the fire. A request of tanker trucks from the Hayesville and Celestine fire departments were made, but were not needed because the fire only covered a 40-foot span in the center of the 600-foot building. Although no one was hurt and no birds were lost, the fire did cause damage to trusses, electrical wiring, and to the ceiling of the building. Fortunately, the building was not a total loss and can be repaired. The fire was quickly put out. 16 firefighters were on the scene for about 30 minutes with 2 trucks in tow. Sentencing was recently handed down on a Huntingburg man who was accused of striking a Huntingburg officer with brass knuckles in an incident this past fall. 22-year-old Austin Zare was sentenced in the DuBois Circuit Court February 11th to 9 years at the Indiana Department of Corrections. Back in October, Zare was alleged to have used brass knuckles during an attack against a Huntingburg police officer who was trying to take him into custody on active warrants out of DuBois County. In January, Zare pled guilty to attempted aggravated battery as a level 3 felony, intimidation as a level 5 felony, and battery against a public safety official as a level 6 felony. The DuBois County Prosecutor's Office says the attack on the Huntingburg officer is a reminder of the risks that officers face willingly every day as they go about the work of protecting our community. They say, however, this kind of violence against law enforcement will not be tolerated when it shows up in DuBois County. An Orange County man and woman were placed under arrest after a single vehicle accident late last week in northeast DuBois County. The DuBois County Sheriff's Department says shortly after 10 a.m. Friday, a passenger car driven by 25-year-old Brooke Mundy of French Lick was traveling west on State Road 56 near Hillham Road North when her car ran off the north side of the roadway, struck a ditch, then continued west and struck an embankment. Deputies say Mundy's car then re-entered the roadway and came to a rest facing west in the westbound lane. Mundy and a passenger, 27-year-old Charles Turner, also of French Lick, were taken by ambulance to Memorial Hospital in Jasper for treatment of minor injuries and were later released back to authorities and both placed under arrest. Mundy was charged with OWI controlled substance and possession of a Schedule IV controlled substance. Meanwhile, deputies say Turner was wanted on a misdemeanor theft warrant. Both were booked into the DuBois County Security Center. Alley Cat Allies filed a lawsuit Monday asking an Indiana judge to order Spencer County not to reopen its animal shelter until 3 critical steps have been completed. First, the county must stop killing animals by using freezing or hypothermia and can only use humane euthanasia. Second, it must adopt policies that set requirements for how the animals are cared for. And third, it must fully train employees on these humane policies and standards of care. Becky Robinson, president and founder of Alley Cat Allies, the global engine of change for cats, headquartered in Bethesda, Maryland, says the organization has made multiple attempts to help Spencer County embrace best practices and humane standards of care, only to be turned away each time. She says as a result, they were left with no other options but to file the lawsuit. Robinson says it's a necessary step to ensure that not another cat will be treated inhumanely after the shelter reopens. Robinson says Spencer County must not be allowed to reopen the shelter without making fundamental improvements to ensure widely accepted basic levels of care for animals. Last October, Spencer County closed its animal shelter and terminated the manager. This was after a shelter employee came forward when she was instructed by the shelter manager to kill a kitten by putting her in a plastic bag and then placing her in a freezer as their method of euthanasia. Alley Cat Allies is asking the judge to stop the reopening of the shelter while the legal case is pending. Alley Cat Allies says Indiana lacks humane animal sheltering and transparency. They say cruel practices, including freezing cats, are in violation of existing law and will continue if laws are not enforced and if Spencer County does not adopt animal sheltering guidelines. Alley Cat Allies will post updates to this case on its website, alleycat.org/Spencer County. Jasper-based German-American Bank Corp. Incorporated and Citizens First Corporation of Bowling Green, Kentucky have entered into a definitive agreement to merge Citizens First into German-American. Upon completion of the transaction, Citizens First Bank Incorporated will be merged into German-American subsidiary bank, German-American Bank. In a release, German-American Chairman and CEO Mark Schrader says they are excited to welcome Citizens First customers and team members to the German-American family. Schrader says Citizens First has built a solid and growing community banking franchise through which German American can provide their extensive offerings of banking, insurance, and investment products and services to Citizens First current and prospective clients. The transaction is expected to be completed in the third quarter of 2019. Completion of the transaction is subject to approval by regulatory authorities and Citizens First shareholders, as well as certain other closing conditions. In connection with the definitive agreement, German American entered into voting agreements with each member of the Citizens First Board of Directors, who collectively hold 8% of the outstanding shares of Citizens First common stock. Subject to the terms and conditions of the voting agreements, the Citizens First directors have agreed to vote their shares in favor of the transactions contemplated by the definitive agreement. All women who live or work in DuBois County are invited to join the women's leadership group, Women Empowering Women. A steering committee of women business leaders from throughout DuBois County developed the organization in 2015 with the support of the Jasper Chamber of Commerce. The mission of Women Empowering Women is to inspire women in business to reach their highest potential by instilling confidence, building networks, and promoting community in DuBois County. The session is held 6 times per year at the St. Joseph Parish Center in Jasper. Doors open at 11:30 a.m. for networking. Each session is from 11:45 a.m. to 12:45 p.m. Speakers at the sessions include Lieutenant Governor Suzanne Crouch, Friday, April 5th, Leadership Journey with Millie Marshall, President of Toyota Princeton, Wednesday, June 12th. Wednesday, August 21st will be the Mindfulness and Meditation with Lydia Lagenauer. Tuesday, October 15th, Perseverance with Julie Lynch. And Wednesday, December 11th, Me, Myself, and Lies with Dr. Christy Nord. The Yin Yoga session presented by Lydia Lagenauer is a special networking event. It will be held at 4:30 p.m. Thursday, August 29th at the Firehouse Yoga Studios. Cost is $4 for Women Empowering Women members. The dues for the 2019 remain at $45 per person. Bring checks to the Jasper Chamber of Commerce at 302 West 6th Street or mail them to P.O. Box 307, Jasper 47547-0307. Beginning Sunday, March 17th, Redemption Christian Church will add a third Sunday morning service at its Jasper campus and shift times for services at its Lagodi campus. The Jasper campus at 1450 Energy Drive will gather at 8:30, 10, and 11:30 a.m. each Sunday. The Lagodi campus at 1 Lagodi Plaza, that's in the former Pomida Shopco building, will move its service times to 9 and 10:30. Nursery for children ages birth to 3 and the spring H2O for pre-K and elementary school students will be available at all services on both campuses. In addition to the changes in service times, Redemption will also see a staff shift on its Lagodi campus. Beginning April 22nd, current pastoral care minister Cameron Gladish will move into the role of campus minister at the Lagodi campus. Current campus minister Richard Crabtree will take on the role of Redemption-wide spiritual formations minister, with responsibilities of teaching and leading Bible groups on both campuses. For more information, please visit redemptionin.com. Get the Redemption app or call the Jasper campus at 812-481-2410, 481-2410, or the Lagodi campus, 812-709-3300, 709-3300. And that has been a look at your local news. Stay tuned. We've got more coming up on 18 WJTS, including your local outlook and weather forecast. Local people watching local people. We are 18 WJTS TV.